Because he said he was. Right. Okay, let me see if he messaged me. Okay. Okay. All right. Welcome, everyone. Michael is our facilitator this evening, but he suddenly disappeared. So let's just see if he comes back. He reappears. Let's join in the light of divine being. I may have to mute you. Elliot, you're making a lot of noise. Actually, you're asked to unmute you. Hi, Heather. Okay, we're joining in the light. Jesus, what desire would you have us look at for the healing of our mind and a service to the whole? So I will admit that some of us prayed about this earlier, and Michael, our fearless leader who is not with us at the moment, came up with, heard from Jesus, that it was the desire to be right at all costs. I thought that was a good one. So let's check in. Let's check in with our inner guide, with Jesus, the light, and look at the desire to be right at all costs, and look at the relishing, how much we really want this. We want to be right no matter what. So let's look at the relishing of that. What I'm hearing, and this is something we were looking at earlier today here at the center, is that I want to be right over God. I want to be right, like at the top of the heap.
It's like we're trying to bargain with God.
I don't even know at the deepest level of this desire if I even want to bargain with God. I just want to be right. I want to have it my way. It seems so subtle, and it's like, who would ever admit such a thing? There's Michael. Yeah, who would ever admit such a thing? I want to be right more than God.
I heard that we believe that to be right is salvation, when it's actually the opposite.
So, Michael, can you hear us? You're frozen. Say that again, Elliot.
Oh, I heard that we believe that to be right is salvation, when it's actually the opposite.
Yeah. Yeah, somehow salvation is getting my own way, being right.
And there seems to be a lot of discomfort around being wrong.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
It's not like we can just go, oh, well, then I'm wrong. Because there's something that feels personal about that.
Yeah, Michael's saying the connection here is fickle like the wind here. So we'll see how he does. Yeah, there really is a stigma, and I'm probably the one that beats myself up the most for my perceptions about when I'm wrong. Like, who do I have to please, and what standards do I have to meet? And it's just
Standards, yeah.
so much self-punishment.
Yeah, and I heard Jesus say that it's all imaginary, but we're so convinced that it's real. Like the ego wants to make it real.
Yeah. And we will kill to be right. Well, maybe I will. Nobody else will, maybe, but I will. I recognize that is. I know it's like I'm such an innocent, right? Face of innocence. But boy, there's times when the rage is there. First time Kay told me, wow, there's a lot of rage under that. And I'm like, what? Don't want to see it.
We don't want to see our innocence. Yeah.
Or our rage,
Well, the rage would start to dissolve if we saw how innocent it is.
Yeah, we got to really look at the rage, it seems like, first to even get to the innocence.
True. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just hearing like the wanting to be right is rage. So I can see how I want to be safe.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Being right is being safe.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Wow. So what I really want to see is that I don't even know how to be right. I just think there's a thing called being right, and I want it. I want it. I want it.
Yeah, and like you say, Elliot, I'm not even sure what being right is. I just know. Yeah, or do I know? I don't know. I probably don't know anything really. Michael,
Oh,
you
my.
came just in time. We just admitted we don't know anything.
Well, you're right. You're on the right path then.
Yep. So we're looking at this relishing of this desire. You heard earlier about the desire to be right at all costs.
Yes. That's what I heard. It's
And
been
Elliot,
playing out in.
go ahead.
Go ahead. I said it's been playing out in form.
Yes. Imagine that.
I associate that with peace, being right.
Elliot was mentioning what the stigma we have about being wrong. We don't want to be wrong. We want to be right. And I was talking about wanting to be right over God. I want to be right and make God wrong. I mean, really, I've been seeing that. It's real subtle sometimes.
Yeah. I want to ignore. I want to ignore the truth so I can be right.
Wow. Yeah. Just give me a good distraction.
I'm having a hard time. I'm having a hard time even discerning the truth when I want to be right, because there's just so much resistance and rage that it's like I don't even want to know what the truth is. I just want it to be like a free for all, like a buffet.
Yeah. Spirit has been showing me the other side of that, like when other people have to be right and the conflict that it causes others. Like Spirit is showing me that like when someone else has to be right, the damage it causes around them, and like how there is no peace in it.
Yeah. Yeah, when one person has to be right, it looks like it makes everybody else wrong.
Yeah.
I heard it has something to do, and Catherine and I were looking at this just the other day. I heard it has something to do with establishing myself as if I'm not here. Like being right has something to do with like establishing establishing something.
My
Like,
identity or my
yeah,
reality.
like my world. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, I can see that.
And the argument is like, well, there's a world here. Why don't I just superimpose whatever I think on it? Like, why don't I just give it whatever thoughts I want it to have?
Well, and that's what we do, meaning making machines.
We don't seem the alternative once again is unthinkable, literally unthinkable.
Yeah.
Yeah, wanting to be right, there's no willingness, whatever, to see it another way. It's just like at all cost, I don't want to see it another way. I don't want a miracle no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
This is my world, it's my body, and it's my rightness, and I'm right, and this is how it is, and how I think it is how it is.
And I
Yeah,
will
it's
kill off,
all, yeah, I will fight to
I
the
will
death.
kill off anybody who disagrees with me.
Yeah, yeah, I don't want anybody to take it from me. It's really God though that I'm fighting with. I'm in competition with God.
Yeah, the power struggle with God that we make up.
Or at least I think I'm in competition. Not really,
I
actually.
like to see us as equals playing a game.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's like seeing
like-
it as like, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was done.
Proving myself, proving to God that I'm right.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's like I project specialness onto images. I go, oh, that person seems to have something I don't. So then I go, okay, well, I'm gonna be like them. And if anyone tries to come along and make me not feel special, like I don't know. Like but
What do we get out of this
desire? Yeah, exactly.
What do we get out?
What'd you say, Michael?
I said, what do we get out of this desire? Really?
Hmm.
We
can
get
be
to
mad.
We get to be right.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because the word mad, which correlates with rage, like Mary was saying, mad also means like insane, like mad tea party. Huh.
I had heard that I think it is peace.
To be right.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I can't imagine what it would be like to not have resistance.
That's a good question to ask, though. Do I think being right is peaceful? Like, ask yourself that question. Do I think being right? Do I think being right is peaceful? Like, really ask yourself.
Yeah, let's just ask Jesus. We could say, Jesus, do we think that being right is being peaceful?
I hear yes.
Yeah, yeah,
And
I really
innocent.
do. It
There's
makes
a-
me feel solid.
There's a
There's no
there's a
conflict
yes
if
and a
I'm right.
no in that. Huh?
So
Oh, yes and a no. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a yes and a no in that for me, because at first it was a yes, and then I started looking at when I think I'm right, then it's like I've got to build up the fortress around me to make sure I don't get attacked and made wrong. I've got to, then I start gathering the troops, and then there's all this anxiety. Not peaceful.
Uh, the word I heard was horrid. It is actually a horrid experience.
Being
If I'm
right.
looking really closely, yeah. Like if I'm honest.
when I asked myself that question, I heard no, not for you. And I don't know who's speaking when I hear that. Like, is that specialness speaking or is that God speaking? Like, I don't know. Because I think
No being the answer to is peaceful, is right being peaceful.
yeah, is right being peaceful. Well, obviously the answer is no, but it feels right.
It feels like it.
I don't, yeah, I can't describe it. It feels like yes, but intellectually and knowledge-wise, it feels like a no. I feel torn by it.
It reminds
Yeah.
me of is it true? The question, is it true? Because it's always no. But sometimes it feels like, it feels right. It feels true. Yeah.
Yeah, what I hear is just seeing where I have that confused. I have it flipped, where I think that being right is peace.
I think we have it flipped on purpose. We have it flipped so upside down that if we have any inkling of being right, we won't even see another side. We won't even see another side. That's the part of being upside down. You can't have, that's why I think Jesus says we can't have both.
Oh, my perceptions are the right perceptions and the only right perceptions that exist.
And I will kill for it. I keep saying that.
Yeah.
I'll run you over with a truck.
I'll die for it. I'll kill for it. Yeah. Yep.
And I noticed that part of this is wanting to be right is also being really incensed when someone else claims they're right and they want to make me or anybody else wrong. Man, I'm ready to do battle.
Just to prove that I'm just like, it's like the ego trying to prove it's invulnerable through its vulnerability. It's like, come and attack me and I'll show you how infinite I am. Like you could just see the falsity in that.
Yeah, it seems like these things all go together, attack and defend. It goes together.
In control, out of control.
Yeah.
Is there more relishing to be done here?
Oh, yeah. Let's do some more relishing. Jesus, show us the full relishing of this desire to be right, no matter what the cost.
What I heard was fuming. There's like a fuming down there. It's
like
real.
It feels like there's something under it, like wanting to feel helpless or powerless.
And the opposite, wanting to feel powerful.
In control of everything. Yeah.
God.
It's another one of those really intractable ones.
Wanting to be right.
Yeah. Seems to be intractable.
Mhm.
I'm powerless to concept.
I want to use my rightness to make it go away.
Good luck. This whole, what we've been looking at quite a bit around here is that these go together, these seeming opposites, power and powerlessness. And when I think I made the statement this morning when we were looking at some desire, oh geez. Anyway, something about feeling powerless or really enjoying the powerless, and Kay turned it around and said, what we're really going for is we want to be more powerful than God. That's what's underneath it all. We really don't want to wallow in powerlessness. We're using that as some sort of smoke and mirrors thing. So I've been looking at that today.
That is really insightful.
So with the right and wrong thing, it seems like if I have to be right, then maybe it's that I go around feeling like I'm wrong all the time. And I have to force it on somebody.
Yeah, and the ego is so, it really likes extremes. So I can't be wrong. I have to be doubly wrong. I have to be extremely wrong.
Yeah, and it's like, is there something more like wanting to be more powerful than God? Is there anything more than that? It's like, it seems like that's like wanting to be more powerful than God. Can you get any more like
Crazy?
yeah.
Yeah.
Wanting more than everything, wanting more than infinite love. It's like I'm just seeing that I have that desire that I do want more than what's here. It's than what is. So I want to have this battle with what is.
Yeah, I think I know what is.
I heard we think our imagination gets us more, but if we didn't have the ability to imagine more, then we would be free. There would just be happiness.
Yeah, what I'm hearing is that we could be in the moment, like right now, and be with what is given rather than imagining anything.
Right. It's like a thorn in our side, like that imagining more.
Yeah, that movie Wonder Woman 1984 really illustrated that.
Ultimately, the pain becomes so unbearable that we eventually look for solutions.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
Well, we might, yeah.
I don't know. It feels like I'm hearing there's, well, I guess it's just, are we holding or releasing? Is that, can we ask that and just see what we
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still holding. There's a larger degree of holding. I'm really exploring the relation of it.
I can't tell. Am I holding or releasing? Oh, I hear I'm releasing. Okay. Cool.
And just seeing it either way, it's helpful.
Yeah, it feels like some release is happening finally. Like I'm like turning to God and saying like, okay, what do I need to do? Like what miracles would you have me perform? I know that my solutions don't work.
Yeah, I've been getting in touch with how much I want it my way. Sometimes it seems pretty intractable. Sneaky.
It's like a addiction to being a virtual reality video game character. That's what it feels like, because it's like I want to have my identity like custom made.
That's what we do. The ego does, yeah. Custom made personal identity.
Maybe I can just admit to my special relationship with that.
Can I be right? And can me being right coexist with the light?
No.
Are we done relishing being right?
I heard no.
I don't even know what that means, to be right. Like, not consciously anyway. And I don't know. I feel like I'm having an argument that I don't even know what the original argument was about. Like we've been arguing so long that
We
I
hid
don't
it.
even remember what we were arguing about.
Yeah, it's like we hid it from ourselves.
So I just asked the question, are we willing to at least entertain the another way? Are we at least willing to speculate that we might be wrong?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to pretend to ask for help anymore. Yeah. That doesn't work.
So you're saying you want to be honest about it or not at all?
Yeah, exactly. And the only option is to choose love, which is being willing to be wrong.
Have we seen through, like, have we completely looked at and cleared the desire not to have a miracle?
Yeah, yeah. I think we want to ask the question, Jesus, where do we go from here? Are we done relishing or are we ready for a miracle?
I hear more relishing. Like Emperor Palpatine, like more.
Thank you, Michael, for that visual.
No, that's good.
That's the way it came across.
Okay, now I can hear the thoughts going like, there's got to be another way. There's got to be another way. There's got to be another way to do this without God. I can like actually hear them now.
Jesus, what more would you have us see here?
I heard how impossible your situation really is. how to see how being right and how impossible it is, and to let it go. That's what I hear.
Yeah, I just saw like, even if I made like the most amazing world, like there's still this voice that's saying like, okay, you did all that, but you still weren't able to hide from the source. And I'm seeing that the whole goal of making that world is to hide from the source. Like it's becoming more obvious.
What comes up, what's coming up here is a lot of concepts about what source will require of me, or what all the concepts I have about God. Not to get hung up on that, but just that if I have to be right, and I think I've got to be right, more right than God, what is it that I think God is? Certainly not out for my best interests.
Yeah, it's back to the competition again. So when we're competing with God, what are we thinking of God as? Like, what even is that?
Yeah, yeah.
It's like we turn God into the ego to try to hide from God, but then we're still competing with something.
We just put a big scary black screen on the God concept, turned it into a monster, and said, "Don't look at it." That's what we did.
Hmm.
It's time to look.
I'm starting to hear the complaints now. It's like, okay, I've looked. How much longer do I have to look?
Does it feel clear for you?
I hear I want this. That's all I heard. So you want this.
Mhm.
I don't know what that means, but that's what he said.
Yeah, it's like the one thing we truly want, and then we keep pretending like we don't.
I think if I'm right, I'll be happy.
What is there even? Let's take that to the light. Let's take that to the light. The idea of, is there anything in the light to choose up from? It's all. There's no right or wrong, left or right, up or down. There's just light.
Yeah, we could take it all to the light. The whole
Change
desire
that
to be
R.
right.
Oh, sorry. Change that R to an L.
Mhm.
What's that?
I said change that R to an L.
There you go. Yeah, that was clever. That's very clever.
And seeing there's no cost, like having him reinterpret that concept, like at all cost, and seeing the desperation, like the pleasure in that, and then just seeing that there's no cost to see that I'm like there's
The ego doesn't agree with that. which is the whole problem to begin with, or the challenge, is to let go of what the ego thinks. Let Jesus reinterpret it.
I always wonder if we're vouching for the ego sometimes. I'm looking at that.
Yeah, it occurs for me that when I can admit some of this stuff, it's something really interesting happens. When I admit, yes, I can see that. I can see that's a part of, what I believe or what I desire. Then just admitting that lets it fall away. It starts
Yeah.
to dissipate. Whereas if I don't want to admit it and I want to, let's go to the light. I mean, that's okay. But it's like if I do that too much, then it just stays. It doesn't disappear.
Right. Because it's not like, it's like the honesty of God.
It's
Like,
not taken deep enough.
Yeah.
I just, when I take it to the light, and there's a contrast that's given to me, because when I come back out of that state and I go back to being, I see immediately, I see the self-inflicted position.
Yeah.
The pain is self-inflicted because of the position, and because of the because I'm unwilling to budge from that position. That's what makes me. I'm not a mountain. I'm supposed to move.
I saw, yeah. I just saw a reversal. You know how people go out and protest? Well, we could protest being right. Just mentally protest being right.
Like just say no to that
Yeah.
completely.
And I notice I get happier and it feels lighter.
Yeah. The recognition that it's not about being right or wrong.
And then I can let other people be right and it doesn't matter.
Yeah. You had a little taste of that today.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, thank goodness. Yeah, I feel such a lightness in that. Like, wow, everyone can just be right. And maybe something I say is true to them, but it doesn't matter if it's right or not. Who cares? Who really cares?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We really have to rely on spirit to translate everything, because we don't know what things actually mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely an element of taking sides and like, am I taking sides here? Because there's.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a concern. Oh, what, Mary?
Well, I just see that rising up in me when something takes place. Yeah, I'm wanting to go to battle. That's part of what I can see coming up. Whether what I do about it is maybe something else, but I can see it. That's where this wonderful thing is. If I can see my brother as my savior, look past, forgive what I think I see in my brother, then I can, forgive that in myself. It's like disappears.
Yeah, I'm now able to see that there's I think there's like some kind of math equation that I can enter to get to the right way of being right, but they're all wrong. They're all wrong. All the math equations are wrong. Like there's not a single right one.
Whoa. So are we ready to see this differently? Jesus, Holy Spirit, inner voice for God.
I hear yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would like to see it differently. I don't have to be right to be saved.
I just gotta be good looking. Just kidding.
What, Michael? Speak up, Michael. What?
I said no. I just gotta be good looking.
But
Give
you
it up,
already are.
Michael.
Everyone already is. Everyone's already
I
good
know.
looking. Yeah. Everyone's
I know.
good looking.
It does feel lighter though.
Well, it's right on the button because it's 7:40.
Perfect.
Okay. Wow. Well, I'm glad that I found a spot in the house that I can connect with. So
Yeah,
that's good.
yeah.
Well,
So
beloveds,
Jesus- Well, let's pause just a minute here because so Jesus, because we think we know what a miracle is, but Jesus, have we had a miracle? Are we seeing this differently? There's a willingness I'm hearing. And then it's like, okay, Jesus, the next step's yours. Now what? You know?
Yeah,
What's
we
in
just need to stay in the little willingness.
Yeah, the contemplation of, or just being with what is a miracle. Anyway, that could take us another 3 hours, but
yeah. Sometimes I feel like a rock that's skipping across the water. I'm good as long as I've got momentum, but as soon as I slow down, I sink.
what brings about the momentum? What is it that causes the momentum?
Pain.
Willingness.
Pain, because I get tired of the willingness to change, the willingness to see it differently, the willingness. It has taken some time, but the willingness has changed. I am more willing because I think I've seen true value in joinings.
Oh, I get it now. We start to just see how empty this meaning making is. We just see how empty it is.
Empty and meaningless.
Yeah. It's not even like I can't do anything of my will to make that so. It's a seeing through something, overlooking it. Yeah.
Hmm.
There we go.
Hmm.
That's the difference between right-mindedness and being right.
Hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the power of willingness, seeing the power of willingness and the value of willingness just increases the willingness. So,
Yeah, beautiful.
I
yeah.
don't even know what a little willingness is. Sometimes it's just like, I don't know what the hell's going on, but I'm going for it. Really, I have no clue what's going on.
This
but
is what-
I go for it.
This is what a little willingness looks like. But you're looking at it.
Hmm.
We're it.
Mhm.
Jesus, is there anything else we need to join about? Nope. Time's up. That's what he said.
Keep
Nice.
releasing. Keep releasing to the miracle. Keep releasing.
Keep joining.
Keep releasing.
Stay
All
in
right,
that.
beloved.
Stay in that willingness. Stay in the willingness.
I will. I am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, really great evening.